Right folks, that little burn there, just along this fence, is the boundary between Fife and Perthshire. Currently I'm on the Fife side of things here, so a bit dodgy, but hopefully I'll be okay. I'm heading towards this woods here in front of me, scoping out a potential wild camper tonight. Let's see what we can find. Okay, I'm now going to do something crazy and cross over counties. Ugh. I'm leaving Fife and I'm entering Perthshire. I'm now on home territory. Already the air is clearer and I feel much happier about my circumstances. Right, let's have a wee nosy here. We're just almost at the River Tay now. Oh, somebody's been here. A rudimentary shelter was attempted. A little fireplace. You always think you'll be the first to find somewhere, because who would be daft enough to wander through forests and such like? I've had their wee barbecue and not taking it home. So I would count them as not very respectful campers, but it's a nice sight. Sheltered. There is a wild storm coming tonight, so I simply want to be cooried in. Potential. There's already a fire pit here, so it's not as if I'm going to create a mess, because I never do that. Okay, options. We're right on the River Tay reed beds, so right on the edge of the Tay now. These are the largest reed beds in the British Isles, I believe. So a very important habitat for many a wee beastie. And we're quite close to an old fishing station called Wonder. We'll have a look at that in a second. But this is the end of the line basically, because that way is just farmland heading into Perthshire. It's quite sad because there is pretty much a path that comes right up to that wall there, or there used to be, and it dies as soon as it reaches the Perthshire border. And if they'd carried that on, and eventually it could link up through Abernethy, over the old bridge over the River Farg, and into Perth, sort of behind Bridge of Erne, it'd be a great wee right away, and a continuation of the Fife coastal route. But alas, they didn't do that. Right, I'm going to see if I can find Wonder. Here we are at Wonder Fishing Lodge. I wonder no more. I'm sure it was a fine place to be back in the day. And believe it or not, back that way through all that undergrowth should be a path. It's gone. It's been taken over by nature, as she reclaims her own, as she always does. So I'm going to go and Wonder, head back into Perthshire, and suss out there for a wild camp. Well, here is my bed for tonight. It's compact and beige. Hello. It does have vents at the ends, so that a lot of air gets in, and there is the option, if it's dry, you can zip open the door and just have the mesh keep the bugs off. So we shall see. Right, let's see how this goes tonight. Okay, so this is pretty much the setup for tonight. It's a gear top bivvy tent that I bought over a year ago. I've just never had a chance to use it. So I thought it's going to be rainy tonight, so I'm using a tarp as well, so I'll have a bit of shelter, because obviously you can't do much apart from lie inside this thing. So at least with the tarp I'll be able to sit up more this end Might get a wee fire at the front here because the wind and rain should be coming from directly behind us, according to the Met Office. So hopefully it'll be a cosy wee setup, and all going well I could sleep just with the mesh bit because I'll have shelter from the tarp itself. Right, I'm going to head home because I've not got anything else organised for tonight. I'll get some firewood, some food, a couple of beers, and then we'll set ourselves up for a night in. Alright folks, it's a dark, rainy Saturday night in the Perthshire Fife border. You would have seen my earlier efforts to set up camp, and so I've committed myself. I have that lonely feeling. I've just been dropped off by the current Mrs. Balloburn. She's off back to her cosy house while I'm in the pouring rain. But camp has been set up earlier, so at least that part's done. So the campsite will be dry. Then I can settle in, maybe get a wee fire on, and chill out for the evening. Okay, let's see where this takes us. Alright folks, I hope you can hear me okay. You would have seen my quick journey down to the campsite, which was already set up. Thank God it was, because you'll hear the rain is absolutely battering it down. But I'm nice and dry. Ugh. Oops, sorry. Microphone. Excuse me folks. Carry on with the tarp up and the little sort of bivvy tent that I showed you earlier in the video. So this area is dry, thank God for that. I'm trying out this new light I got, which is fantastic. It's also a battery charger. I like it. It gives off a nice soft light. The woodland is getting dark now, so we shall see what happens during the evening. But I've got a little bush box with me, so I'm going to have a fire, that's for sure, and enjoy a couple of beers. I've got a tablet and watch a movie or something, but just so nice for Balloburn bushcraft explorer wild camper to actually get back out in the wilds again. So let's see where the night takes us. Cheers guys. This wood is really dry, so hopefully it'll take. Didn't have much in the way of kindling with me, a few little Twizzlers, but looks like it's taking, so at least I'll get a little bit of a fire to warm my cockles tonight. There's something definitely soothing about having a fire, isn't there? A cold, well not such a cold night, but a wild, wet night. Just raises the morale somewhat when you're out camping. Even a little one like this and just a little sort of firebox. Still enough just to lift the spirits and give a little bit of heat as well. Alright folks, I'm in my coffin, just about to get off to sleep. Just chilled out tonight, watched a fire, watched a few YouTube videos and just chilled out in the woods. It's not raining at the moment, but we'll see what happens during the night. It's supposed to rain right throughout the night. So let's see what this little gear top bivvy tent behaves, how it performs. So I am going to hit the sack. I shall report if there's any excitement during the night. Otherwise, I'll see you in the morning. Good night, guys. Oh, good morning. It's about 8:30. I had an on and off night. Got quite cold at times because I didn't pack my nice warm sleeping bag, my down one. I just found a 2-season thing, which is just about kept me going, but yeah, it wasn't good enough. It rained on and off through the night, but it was quite a peaceful night. It's a nice morning. The sun is shining. I don't think I'm a fan of this gear top bivvy tent because I have a whole tarp covering the tent, and it's wet from the inside with condensation. And I'm not far from the river here, but that's not good. So I'm not sure I would be a fan of using this much. Maybe in a super stealthy situation where you want to be really low profile, but I can't see myself using it that much. But I've survived the night, and I'll have to think about getting up, getting a coffee on, packing up. So I survived the night, so I shall check in soon, guys. Thanks. Just to give you an idea where I am, I'm right down here by the River Tay, just as it starts to really become an estuary. And there's an interesting spot right by us here. That clump of trees there sort of marks the sort of northern edge of an old Roman legionary fortress. Massive complex that was built here, I think during the Septimius Severus campaign to pacify the Scots. The emperor himself came up here, so he would have been here with his mighty army as they headed northwards to pacify the Caledonians. But quite a grand spot, and then we just pan round to the south and you have the sort of tail end of the Ochil Hills, and my little site is in there. You see the top of the Tarp, this lovely little bit of mixed woodland. So it's a grand site. I don't think I showed you when I was setting up the tarp. I was using my quick deploy line, just little wooden toggles, a loop just wraps around the tree, Prusek knots to keep the tarp tight, a couple of these little clamps just hold it securely, and at this end, this is the bit that tightens up the attachment to the tree, and it's all nice and tidy there. So it's the simplest setup I've used. I picked it up from the sort of guru in America of bushcraft, David Canterbury, his sort of quick deploy line, and I think I'll stick to this one. It's simple, easy to use, and it keeps that totally tight. So that's what I used last night. Right, first thing I have to learn to do is pack lighter. I get away with it sometimes because I'm only about a kilometre from where I'm going to be picked up on the road, and you can get into some wild spots quite close to the road. But that's the adventure done. Ugh, it's a beautiful morning here in the Perthshire-Fife border. I just camped about 30 metres into Perthshire, so I was safe for the night, because Fife, they can be the Badlands. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lovely wee camp. Tried out that gear top sort of bivvy tent. Definitely save that for summertime, I would say, and because it does tend to develop a lot of condensation, or a super stealthy camp. It was well made. Quite impressed with the build of it, and I always judge things by how good the pegs are. I should have shown you, but they're really nice pegs. So that's that. Had a lovely evening. I'm going to get picked up soon, so I better get myself in order. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is the first camp in a while. Hopefully we'll get some good ones through the winter now. So without further ado, this is Ballowburn, bushcraft and explorer, and everything else in between. Checking out. See you soon.